YouTube. What is up everybody, Tabby here. Welcome my friends to a brand new video here on the channel. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Today I've got a little different kind of video for you all. You know, I have never really given any tips for Rainbow Six Siege, but today that's gonna change. You see, Rainbow Six Siege is a game in which the learning curve is really high. When I initially started playing Siege, it legit took me a couple of months to get a hang of things. So today I was just sitting and thinking to myself that I am level 130 plus on Siege and have got a lot of experience. Wait, I know that your level doesn't determine your skill within Siege. A level 60 or a level 50 player may be a whole lot better than me, but what he's not got is the amount of experience. That leads me to a little announcement, which is that I will be starting a little Rainbow Six Siege tips and tricks kind of a playlist here on the channel, wherein I just want to give you some basic yet very important helpful tips. And as I've already set the base for it, my tips and tricks or the guides which I'll be sharing with you guys will be solely based on my experience and not on the fact that I'm a really good player or that if I have amazing accuracy or I'm like Plat 2 or Plat 3 or Diamond, nothing of that sort. But with all that said, let's hop into today's topic. I want to give you guys some tips and tricks as far as the trap operators within Rainbow Six Siege go. So to kick it off, we've obviously got two trap operators which are on defense within Rainbow Six Siege, namely Kapkan and Frost. First, let's talk about Kapkan. Kapkan is a part of the Spetsnaz CTU and is a 3 armored and 1 speed operator. You get the gist of it right from there. He isn't meant for roaming around or having fun with. He's one of those operators with whom you just want to stay near the objective or preferably inside the objective room and defend. He's got the entry denial device, also very famously known as the booby traps, as his gadget. And he has 3 of them at his disposal. His booby traps detonate upon contact. So as soon as an enemy crosses his trap, it's all done for them for that round. And this is the main difference between his gadget and Frost, who is the other trap operator's gadget. We will talk about Frost later on. As then said already, upon contact, Kapkan's booby traps will detonate and will kill the enemies. Placement is the key, and I want to stress out a little bit right there. It is the thing which will determine if you can get a kill with the booby trap or not. And as for the suggestions which I have in terms of placing his gadget, it is different for ranked and casual. As far as casual goes, you've gotta place those traps in and around the objective area for a higher chance of killing the enemies with your trap. Before going any further, I just wanna say that all of this will differ from situation to situation. This is why we all love Rainbow Six Siege. Nothing is known. There's no rule of thumb. But anyways, the logic here is that when you're playing casual, you meet a lot of newer players. The players who have less idea about what's going on. I mean, they have an idea where the objective is, so you know they will move towards the objective, and if you've got a trap near the objective, there's a high likelihood that they will trigger it. As opposed to if you place your trap somewhere far off from the objective. When you then come to ranked, you just cannot get away with placing your traps in and around the objective. The players are really skillful, at least I hope that is the case, and I'm sure that is the case, so they will identify that there are traps in and around the objective so they can easily take them off. But if you place those traps, you know, in some obscure area where no one is really expecting a trap, you can easily get some kills. Again, there is a little logic behind it. You see, as of now in ranked, you get 3 minutes to attack, and in my own personal opinion, 3 minutes or 2 less. So as soon as the attackers are off of their drone, they're all rushing into the building which they're supposed to attack. So if you have some good traps near the entry point, then you can do some serious damage, given that those traps went undetected. To sum up Kapkan then and his booby traps, while you're playing casual, just prioritize the area around the objective. And as for ranked, just go for some obscure entry point. For example, if you're defending in the basement, just go to the top floor and place a booby trap on an entering point. Before we talk about Frost, again I just want to say guys, it will not work every time. Don't expect to watch this video and do the same and expect to get like 5 kills with your booby traps. It's just not gonna happen. But it's gonna increase those odds of, you know, you getting kills with your booby traps. And one final thing which I'm gonna repeat again when we talk about Frost, but try to go undetected within the preparation phase. If you go undetected, that is really good. If not, then the very minimum that you gotta do is place your traps undetected. Basically meaning that if you're placing a trap, a booby trap, and a drone spots you, the very first thing you gotta do before destroying that drone obviously is to remove that trap and place it somewhere else. Especially if you're playing ranked. You can get away with it if you're playing casual because the communication is not really there, but if it is ranked and a drone spots you placing a booby trap somewhere, the first thing you gotta do guys is remove that trap and place it somewhere else. Let us then talk about Frost now. Alright, so Frost is a trap operator who is under the JTF2 CTU and is a 2-speed and 2-armored operator. She gives you a very good balance, meaning yeah, you can roam a little bit and stay away from the objective and, you know, patrol a particular area. And she comes equipped with her welcome mat. And similar to Kapkan, she has 3 of them at her disposal. The very basic thing that you gotta keep in mind with Frost and her welcome mats is the fact that when someone triggers that welcome mat, they are not dead. They go in a DBNO state. Meaning you've still got some unfinished business to complete if someone triggers that welcome mat. Here's the thing then, wherever you place your welcome mats, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but the basic thing you gotta keep in mind is that you are near the 3 welcome mats. Simply meaning that if some attacker triggers that particular trap which you had planted or put, you can go and finish them off. And potentially, you know, if you wait out a little bit, some teammate will come to revive them and then you can get a 2-piece or maybe a 3-piece, who knows. Coming then to her welcome mat placement. Again, it is divided between casual and ranked. Then when you're playing casual, guys, believe me and just, I don't know, write it somewhere or just keep it in your mind. Go for the very conventional approach. Very conventional, very straightforward. No matter wherever you're gonna stay, either roam or, you know, stay near the objective, first of all make sure that the traps are in your vicinity and are actually near you. And just basically put them underneath windows and doors and entry points, as simple as it can get. I would also suggest you guys to stay on the objective floor, so if the objective's on the 3rd floor, you need not necessarily be in the objective room, but on the same floor is what I'd recommend you guys. I don't know guys, it just works on casual. You just place those traps in and around the objective or on the same floor, and it just for some reason works and works perfectly alright. Moving on then, let's talk about ranked, wherein you've gotta be a little strategic about your welcome mat placement. Firstly, don't go for the conventional straightforward ways. You've gotta change things up here a little bit because the players again on ranked are very much skillful and exactly know what they're up to. And it is actually very simple and has indeed worked for me for a little bit, but you just place those welcome mats in the corners rather than like on the entry points. The logic here being very simple. As an attacker myself, I would check for a welcome mat on the entry to a particular room. If I don't see a welcome mat, I feel I'm good to go and I enter that room and I'm obviously not looking at the floor anymore and just move around the room and all of a sudden there's a welcome mat on the corner. This in my opinion is the basic difference you gotta adopt to while it comes to your welcome mat placement, casual versus ranked. And again, as I said previously, your main aim is to go undetected in that prep phase, and obviously the bare minimum is that the welcome mat placement should not be seen by those drones. Because if that is the case, and especially that too in ranked, then it's honestly of no use. Alright then guys, that about wraps it up for today's video. If you're still watching it, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. A little like will always mean the world to me, so we will keep our aim at 15 likes. Of late, it hasn't been as good, but I'm still really appreciative about all the support that you guys have given. And also, if this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe on this channel because I'm right here sitting on this chair pumping out Siege content almost on a daily basis. So yeah, subscribe. Regardless though, it's been Tabby here, and until next time, farewell.